Well, two members of Congress are locked in a battle on Twitter over something that happened on this show. Wisconsin Congressman Sean Duffy said this while talking about the recount effort in Wisconsin. Listen.
We only have one county that's hand counting the votes. That's Dane County, which is the home of Madison. It's the progressive liberal communist community of Madison, and they're taking as long as they can.
Well, Congressman Mark Pocan is a Democrat who represents Dane County, Madison, and he tweeted this in response, quote, demanding an apology from Congressman Sean Duffy for calling Madison communist, a place that doesn't believe in democracy and freedom, on Fox News. Duffy fired back with this tweet, quote, the PC crowd is humorless. For those offended by my communist comment, I'll send a therapy dog to your safe place of choice in Madison. The feud continues. Here now, Congressman Mark Pocan. Congressman, thanks a lot for joining us.
Oh, sure. Glad to be here, Tucker.
So why, it's pretty funny. You've got to admit the therapy dog thing. Why were you offended by what Congressman Duffy said?
You know, what's even funnier is the people have so much humor in Madison. They're all sending him pictures of their dog via Twitter saying, hey, I want one of these. So, you know, I think we're taking it in a pretty good-spirited manner. But, you know, Wisconsin, we've been unique among the states. Our delegation, Democrats and Republicans, have always worked very well together. We're a medium-sized state. One of my best friends in Congress is Reed Ribble, who represents Green Bay, a Republican. What I don't want to see happen, when I visited high schools this summer, and the first campaign they've seen is this really ugly presidential campaign, I don't want people to think it's okay to insult cities and insult people, and that's how you get elected to higher office. It should be about treating people with respect. And unfortunately, you know, Sean was wrong. 47 counties are actually doing hand counts, 13 more partial hand counts, but somehow he decided attacking Madison was politically useful. And, you know, I just think Sean should be big enough to just say, hey, I made a mistake, let's move on. But, you know, I guess news is slow, and we're talking about this.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I agree with a lot of what you just said. Wisconsin is a great state, and Madison's a cool town, I think, and it is kind of funny. But at its core, you were offended because he called the town communist. So I just want to take it seriously for a second. There are communists in Madison. There's the Communist Party of Wisconsin. They meet in Madison. And I went and looked up what they believe, and I'm kind of interested to learn. Here's part of what they're for. Standing up for the American worker, for the American people, coming together for a fair national environment in terms of labor. Here are their goals, and I'm quoting, affordable housing for all, creation of massive public works to help the unemployed, unemployment for those seeking work, nationalization of industries like banking and automotive, reliable mass transit, and a sustainable environmental policy. Are you against any of those?
Tucker, so you know more about the Communist Party in Wisconsin than I do, and I've been in Madison since 1982. Clearly, we had 175 total votes out of 300,000 cast who went for the candidate who represents the Communist Party. I don't know if that makes us a communist county when 300,000 people went a different direction. We actually deliver the third or fourth largest amount of Republican votes in the state of Wisconsin. So, you know, I think the reality is...
Those, I mean, leaving the titles the same, like, that's the Communist Party of Wisconsin's platform. Do you disagree with any of that?
I don't even know if there is a Communist Party in Wisconsin. Again, Tucker, you know, maybe they have a website, but I know a lot of 13-year-olds who have websites. The reality is Wisconsin is the economic engine for the state. In the last decade, 73% of new jobs have come from Madison. I don't know if that's exactly the way I look at communist. I always think that's like state-run businesses and stuff. We actually have a very vibrant private sector. We have a lot of Republicans, a lot of independents, a lot of Democrats. I just don't know if it does any good to trash the second largest city in your state so that you can make a incorrect point like he did about one county hand counting when 47 were.
I know you're a small business owner as well.
Exactly.
I guess what I'm trying to get to is, so the most, I think you could argue, the most popular personal figure in the Democratic Party this year was Bernie Sanders, who's a socialist. I mean, self-described Democratic socialist. What does that mean exactly? I mean, what are these? I mean, how is that different from a liberal Democrat, and how is that different from a communist as described here? I mean,
well,
like,
actually,
what are these?
In Wisconsin, uniquely, probably the most popular Republican in Wisconsin is Fighting Bob LaFollette, who actually ran for president of the Progressive Party ticket in 1924. So Wisconsin's pretty enigmatic. Again, we're, you know, generally very nice people to our neighbors and friends. We're kind-hearted. That's the upper Midwest spirit. It's just, I don't want to see the new normal becoming you trash people or you trash groups of people because it worked during the campaign. I mean, when I went to those high schools this summer,
I agree with you, okay, but I'm just asking, we'll just dig down a little bit. You saw that as an epithet, as an insult to Madison. Why?
Well, he said we were undemocratic. He said we were undemocratic because we're doing a recount. And I can tell you, Tucker, in one county in my district, for example, if I can, Tucker, the number of votes cast was a different number than the total number of votes that were added up by among all the candidates, and it showed more votes than actual ballots cast. That's why we do recounts. And you know what? In Madison, they're working 14 hours a day to get the recount done. So
that's all
in
great.
the end, this isn't like a huge issue, other than he decided it was a reason to attack the second largest city in the state. And I think
I get it.
It's silly enough.
Hold on, let me stop the speech for really quick.
That.
Is it an epithet to call someone a communist? Let's get right to it. Is that a bad word to you?
I think if you call a town a communist when 175 people out of 300,000 voted for that, it's silly, borderline stupid, and I think given the reputation we have in Wisconsin, we don't want to start going down that line. I mean, it's fine maybe in other parts of the country,
it's stupid, but it's not
that.
necessarily bad to be a communist. It's just an incorrect description of Madison.
I think the fact that we're having this entire conversation, Tucker, is a little bit silly. I think it's probably better is that people in Madison are responding by sending pictures of what kind of therapy dog they want. I think that's the real spirit of Madison, and the fact that we're the economic engine for the state, creating 73% of the jobs in the last decade. Sean should know better. I think he does know better.
Yeah, but
he probably regrets it.
I'm not here to defend Duffy. I'm just saying ideas matter. Clearly, people's ideas about how to run government are changing dramatically on both sides, Democratic and Republican parties. And I'm trying to get a sense
there's not a
of where the new normal
in Madison, if that's what you're wondering. Yeah, there's not a communist upswell. What I hope the new normal is that we get back to where we treat people with respect. You can disagree without being disagreeable. And that's the Wisconsin way. And I just want Sean to be a part of the Wisconsin that
I still don't know why
myself
calling
and
someone a communist
are.
is disrespectful, according to you.
Maybe
Why
saying that we're undemocratic simply because we're doing a recount and that he said we're the only one when it was 47 counties. It's just that he was so factually wrong and decided to attack. This doesn't, make a lot of sense. And I think the fact that instead of responding and saying, yeah, I'm wrong, he said, we'll get you a therapy dog. So I love the fact that everyone's sending pictures of what kind of therapy dog they want.
Well, you should get a dog because they're great.
I'm going to send them my list. Yeah.
I appreciate your coming on and explaining that. Congressman, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tucker.